warm greetings to all participants in the webinar on behalf of the International Step-by-Step Association and the Early Childhood Workforce Initiative. It is a great honor to participate in this event and a great opportunity to share about the Early Childhood Workforce Initiative. My name is Zorica Trikic, and I'm a Senior Program Manager in ISA and one of the coordinators of the Early Childhood Workforce Initiative. So, Early Childhood Workforce Initiative was initiated in 2016 by International Step-by-Step Association and Results for Development. And in 2023, to strengthen the impact of initiative, to broaden its scope of work and become a strong and influential facilitator and convener of policy dialogue towards change and program implementation at the country, regional, and cross-regional level, the core partners of initiative welcomed in the partnership the three regional networks, the Asia Pacific Regional Network, ARNEC, the Arab Network for ECD, ANEC, the host of today's webinar, and the Africa Early Childhood Network, AFNEC. So the question is why we started this initiative and why we are trying to keep it alive and visible and influential is because we wanted to bring more visibility to significance of the early childhood workforce. There was a huge increasing narrative around the importance of early childhood development, SDG goals, nurturing care framework, but unfortunately, in most of these documents, the crucial role that early childhood workforce plays was not recognized. We also nourished this initiative to lift up the voices of frontline practitioners, frontline workers, those who are doing the job but are usually invisible and not heard, and also to provide evidence on the best ways on how to recruit, train, retain, supervise, and support the early childhood workforce, and how to create opportunities for cross-country and cross-regional learning. So with this initiative, we want to achieve, our main goal is that early childhood workforce is recognized, well-prepared, supported, and empowered to provide children and families with quality services in order to ensure their well-being. So every time when we talk about early childhood workforce, we do it while keeping children and families in mind. And on the other hand, when we talk about children and families and quality of services, we never forget to focus on early childhood workforce. So how do we do it? We build on our profound knowledge on evidence regarding early childhood workforce role and impact, on our strong expertise and partnerships that we have as individual networks, but also as a whole, and also on achievements that were realized in the previous period, since 2016. And we are taking 4 directions of action. We are focusing on building shared knowledge and evidence. We advocate for the early childhood workforce. We support country capacity building and implementation and facilitate collaborative learning. And all these pillars of action are part of our work on country level, on regional level, and cross-regional level. And what we expect that it will be a result of our action is that that we will manage to put early childhood workforce on policy agenda globally, and that we are going to be able to collect and present evidence to inform and to influence policies on national and regional levels, and that we will also be able to translate knowledge into practice to provide primarily policymakers and managers with tools to implement what we are talking about. So let's celebrate a little bit. Let's celebrate the past, what we did in the last 6 years from 2016 when this initiative was hosted by ISA and Results for Development. So in that period, we created Early Childhood Workforce Initiative website, a place where you can find news, relevant information, opinions of our members and followers. But we also created a knowledge hub, a place where you can find state-of-the-art resources, researches, materials from all the regions of the world, covering all the relevant topics related to the early childhood workforce. You can also sign up for the newsletter so you can track our progress and what we are doing. We also focused on building knowledge and evidence base, and that resulted in 4 first of their kind global landscape analysis covering competencies and standards, training and professional development, continuous quality improvement and working condition. And you can find it in English, French, and Spanish in the Knowledge Hub on the website. But what is very important about these documents is they are focusing on these issues across the roles and across the regions, across the sectors, the regions, and the roles. We also developed 3 in-depth country studies, Peru, Ukraine, South Africa, to analyze current roles, highlighting strengths and challenges, and offering policy recommendations. We also developed 6 country briefs, showcasing examples of good practices and promising approaches. And we developed in brief a policy document on supporting the workforce, parenting programs adapt to COVID-19. We developed reflective and diagnostic tools primarily for policymakers. One is home visiting workforce needs assessment tool, which is accompanied with its own user's guide, and the newest resource is the parent support workforce needs assessment tool. What is the added value of these tools is that they are providing opportunities for different stakeholders to assess existing systems through the lenses of the workforce. And they also promote this approach that different levels of the system, representatives of the different levels of the system meet, talk, and exchange opinions so that they hear each other and assess the system. We also did a lot of work to provide visibility to the early childhood workforce, and we did voices from the field, collecting experiences from our colleagues, frontline workers, again, across different sectors and different roles during the COVID time. And that resulted in 5 priority actions, position statement on 5 priority actions to protect, support, and strengthen the early childhood workforce during COVID pandemic, but in general if you go and see the document, you will see that this is something that can be applicable to emergencies or in general, providing them with quality conditions, working conditions. And we also do webinars and blogs. So what are the first joint steps of this new partnership that we are very excited about? So what are our commitments and plans? So in the period to 2023 to 2024, this is basically an overview of activities that we are planning to do. So we are going to, based on mapping of early childhood workforce priorities or issues or challenges, we identify two thematic priorities. One is professionalization and professional development of the workforce, early childhood education and care workforce, and the other is much more focusing on mental health and well-being of early childhood education and care staff, especially when they are working in challenging contexts. We are also focusing on country implementation and fostering or like supporting regional efforts focusing on early childhood education and care staff working in services from birth to school entry, depending on the region and the country, and a lot of attention, a lot of weight is given to cross-regional learning. We want to learn from each other and we want to enrich our work. So basically, Arab network and Africa network are going to focus mainly on building stronger evidence for higher professionalization of early childhood education and care workforce, and advocate for such plans to be included in country and regional agendas, while ARNEC and ISA are going to focus more on the topics related to well-being and mental health of early childhood education and care staff. And we will try to embed these themes in pre and in-service training of early childhood education and care staff, but also to provide countries with support for scaling up this kind of professional development programs. While doing this, while focusing on these two priorities, we are going to help each other learn. We are going to support the work of individual partners, and we are going to produce something that is going to go beyond specific country or region. It's going to address cross-regional level, and that's our dream. So thank you for your attention, and we would like to stay in touch. Join us by signing to our newsletter. Support, if you are from Arab region, support Arab network, and let's all continue to work to promote and support early childhood workforce. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Arab Network, thank you for joining this partnership. I wish you all the best and hope to see you soon.